What does StubHub do, and how do you make money?
Sure. So StubHub, very simple concept. Instead of having people go to a ticket broker or just sell the tickets through some third party, you can sell direct to another fan, and we'd have an exchange much like the stock market, and we take care of payment and delivery. So we guarantee that the buyer is going to get the ticket they wanted on time for the event. We guarantee the seller is going to get paid. It's very, very simple. Cut out the broker and all that guessing, and you can pick your ticket. In return for doing that, there's 25% worth of fees to the buyer and the seller, typically 10% to the buyer, 15% to the seller. So there's a couple advantages in terms of the structure of this business model. One is that we took no inventory. So that was a very, very good thing. You take no inventory, you get commissions, and it means you get float, or negative working capital. I collect the money up front before I pay it out to people. So I have a ton of payables, not receivables. I hold the money and then I pay people. That's always a good thing. Much better than the other way around. So that was very advantageous to it, and obviously it's a model that could scale in a very big market.
It's interesting to hear these things repeat. I was talking to Paul Orflew, who founded Kinko's. He says the dirtiest word in business is inventory. So if you can find businesses that minimize it or have no inventory. So you have negative working capital as long as you're growing. Yeah, that's sort of unheard of in most businesses. So not only was the business attractive because you saw the market was fragmented, inefficient, unsophisticated players, all that, but the model stood out to you as attractive.
Yeah, it made sense. I mean, again, fundamentally as a business made sense. So I think particularly in environments where things are sort of crazy and you have people valuing things in a crazy way, that's actually a great opportunity if you're you can sell. I'd sort of look at it as like, if there's a real estate boom, it's great to be in real estate, but the best position is to own beachfront property. If you own good real estate, you can have boom and bust, but your real estate's going to throw off cash. You have great real estate. If, however, you just are trying to chase a boom and you've bought a piece of property which is probably not beachfront, then you need to make sure you get out before the cycle turns, which it will. So this was an example of the business actually worked. So this wasn't like just trying to hype something up and flip it. We knew the business worked. We knew it would generate cash, and it happened to be in an attractive area that people would value highly.
Good. Let's talk about the name. How did you come up with the name StubHub?
Yeah, we originally had the name Liquid Seats, which was probably not a great name. I think like Depends sued us or something like that. So that wasn't so good. So then we went and we had Liquid Seats and we had StubHub. I don't know why we had two names. I'd like to tell you some clever story for it other than our own stupidity. And then we went with StubHub. The name StubHub actually came from, we just had a guy who he was a creative guy, just sort of did some temp work, came up with StubHub. We liked the name. Ended up working great on all the radio ads and stuff, but it was another great example of it wasn't like we paid $100,000 to a professional naming firm or anything. It was probably, I don't know, the guy was out at a bar drunk one night. StubHub, great, makes sense, and it worked out well because it was very memorable and very easy to spell. So I think literally that's very important.
Absolutely, and then you had those not annoying noises to accompany it occasionally.
You got to be remembered.
You got to remember.
So the whole like buzzer, and we figured out a lot of what we had success with early on was for StubHub was both Google AdWords. So I know for you guys, like it's just sort of that's the way the world always was, that you spend on AdWords, and why wouldn't everybody do that? Back in like 2002, 2003, it wasn't so obvious. So we were one of the first companies to really build through using AdWords. I remember we had to deal with MSN, Microsoft Network, where they were giving us search terms for free. The big thing was to be displayed on MSN, so that obviously wouldn't go on today. And then radio. Sports radio was a great forum for, if you're a USC fan or a Laker fan or whatever, you're probably listening to ESPN radio, have Dan Patrick read it, just carpet bomb people. It's extremely cost effective.